What's up folks, welcome back to the garage. As you can see from my gear, I have a proper gear on to go under the Saab, and I have also my trolley here. Next I try to find out why there is quite a lot oil on the floor. I think it's coming from the gearbox, but we will see. First I will check the engine oil, because at least the valve cover and the gasket is also leaking, so I want to know if it's also engine oil or just gear oil, and I hope we can fix all those oil leaks in this video. There's red and brown oil on the floor. The red one is from power steering, and I know that it is leaking, but we have to fix that next time when we take the engine out. And the brown oil, as you can see, there's quite a lot of it. Also a few drops in the back and a few drops on the front. I just checked the engine oil, and it's not easy to see, but it's not max, and I have filled that this a while ago, so we are losing also some engine oil, but I'm missing the oil stick from the gearbox, so I can't check it. I have to make a new one, oil stick. And it's leaking, at least here it's leaking a little bit, the engine oil, but not that much that we have on the floor. So next I will go under the car and try to find out is it engine or gearbox oil, because the gearbox might already be quite empty. We don't have a stock exhaust manifold in this car, so we had to modify the oil stick of the gearbox, and actually I borrowed this one. This is engine oil stick. I have lost this one, I don't know why. I have to make a new one for the gearbox, but when I'm checking if there's any oil, we have. It's a little bit difficult to see. I try to focus, but there is about this much oil, so there is some oil left in the gearbox, so it's not totally empty, but I don't know actually how much there is oil. But first we have to find out where it's leaking, and after that we will refill the gearbox and the engine oil. Yes, 2 days later. As you can see, there's some oil again on the floor. The red one is coming from power steering. There's something going on inside there. And that's I think that's from the gearbox, not sure yet. And as you can see, there's few drops also in that direction and also in front. So I hope I can find the leak points. But meanwhile, I was spending some time here. I put a new gasket in there and sealed it properly, I hope. Because if you can see, there is some oil on the exhaust manifold and also there and there, so it has been leaking from here, but I hope I managed to fix that. But next we will try to locate the leak under the car. Oh yes, we have a few spots, I think. As you can see, there's some oil down there, and there's the plate. I think this is crooked, bent, and it's leaking maybe from here, but there is also some oil there in the axle, and also some fresh oil up there. It's like in between gearbox and engine, so it's also leaking somewhere there. So I might have a few leaks, but next my plan is that I will remove this the plate. It's a bit annoying job, but I have to do that. And I have a new gasket for the plate, and I will use also the liquid seal, so I will use them both. And I hope that after that I can stop the oil leak down here, and then I can focus on other spots. Quick update. I actually warmed the engine up. This pipe is warm, so the thermostat opened. I wanted to heat up the exhaust manifolds to see if my gasket is still leaking, and it is. As you can see, there's some fresh oil. So I didn't manage to fix the oil leak here in the valve cover, and here you can see there's some fresh oil on the cover, so it's leaking somewhere. I think I should buy a new cover, better one, not a steel, because this is so thin, so and bends. So I would prefer aluminium or something other that I could tighten it a little bit better to avoid the leak. And why I warmed this engine very carefully was because I took all the oil out from the transmission, and now I have cleaned the floor, and I think I will have my lunch break, and then we will see after that lunch break, about an hour, that if there is some oil on the floor. I discovered some oil from the floor just a few minutes ago, but I wiped it out. I think it might have been old oil, which has been there and just dropped to the floor when the engine warmed up. But we will see that a little bit later. But then I will show you something strange. I think I have done a huge mistake before. I don't know why, but I have the oil here on the table. This is from the transmission, and I have the Saab instructions here. It says that a 4-speed manual, the oil amount is 2.5 liter, and if you have 5 gears, the amount is 3 liter, and there's 1 liter, 2 liter, and 3 liters. So I took 3 liters oil out from that gearbox, and there's still 0.5 liters too much. And I have cleaned the floor quite many times, so I don't know how much I have had oil in that gearbox. So it's not a wonder if it spit it out. But I don't know the reason why I have done that. But next my plan is that I will have my lunch break and I will check the floor again, and then I will put the right amount, 2.5 liter oil, back in, and then I will warm up the engine and the gearbox properly, and then we will see again, will there still be a major leak. But now I'm quite sure that the oil on the floor is from the gearbox, but I just want to make sure where it's leaking from. After about 2 hours, there's only a drop of oil on the floor. That's not much. It might be even oil, old oil from the chassis, but there's also a small drop in the front. So we have a small leak still, and of course the the gearbox is still leaking, I think, but I think next we will check up if we can find where is that oil coming from, and after that we will add the 2.5 liters to the gearbox. The gearbox is dry, but there is some fresh oil up there. I'm not so sure where it's coming from. Maybe from the valve cover. It's coming from about there, I think. But next I will clean that oil from there and I will add the oil in the gearbox. It's happening here in the garage. I got some help. My older son came here to help me. You have some kind of project going on there?
Yeah, I accidentally spilled this tray.
All the nuts. I will help you as soon as possible, but meanwhile I have been fixing the front spoiler. There's not a bracket. I put some metal back of the broken spoiler, and now it should be okay. Only few screws are missing from both sides, and after that I can attach the register plate here on the spoiler. It should be quite okay. And the car has been here now for few hours, and there's only a drop of oil on the floor. And next our plan is to put the winter tires on and then run the engine hot and go through all the gears here on the jack stands, and after that we will know better if we have a major oil leaks. Sitten tosta painat ryppyä ja sitten starttaa. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Eli ryppy nyt.
Joo, painat. Yes, ja sitten käännät. Ja kaasua. The engine and gearbox seems to work okay. My son went through all the gears and check this out. There's no oil on the floor. So now the gearbox is also holding the oil inside, which is nice. And the only thing I did is that I put a right amount of oil inside. What an idiot I am, but it is what it is. Great thing. But I noticed that it's leaking engine oil. You can see there's the engine. This is a little bit hot. The engine, I have to be careful. This bracket here, and there is the bottom bolt down there. So it's leaking from top of that bolt. So the oil might be coming between the block and the cylinder head. The head gasket goes also around the chain, which is here on this side of the engine. So I tightened that bolt down there and also the second one from there. They were quite tight already, but I tried to tighten it a little bit more. And tomorrow I will check if there's oil on the floor. If there is, then I know that it doesn't help. So we have to figure out something else. But there's it's holding the oil inside quite well, so I think it would be possible to go to the MOT like this. And now we have the winter tires. I think this tire at least is leaking a lot. But next I have to put the plates on the front and the rear, and after that I think the car will be ready for the MOT, and we will pick up the list that we have to fix before it passes. But it won't take a long time to get the car on the road. I'm just feeling it already. Only few things to do, and after that we will hit the road and to the MOT. After that we have some small things, for example some gauges, oil pressure gauge. I have to check that, and the oil pressure light, warning light. I think that light is working, but we have some issues. I think it might be the sensor, the oil pressure sensor, but it shouldn't be any big problem. But thanks for watching. Please give me thumbs up and comments down below. That would be great. And if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, now it's a perfect time to do that, and also ring the bell. Thanks for watching and see you soon.